Hello all. Wow, we're supposed to be in the middle of a torrential rainstorm right now. Winds, all that, but because of all the mobile phones going on at the same time, the forecasting for the world's weather is suffering horribly. But even though it's supposed to be rainy and cloudy and stormy, it's nice, 55, no wind, little overcast. The sun breaks every now and then. We're going to continue this way and go do the video. Today, 3 main topics. Don't go anywhere yet. So we cover many issues here on Pink Barrio, mostly with the environment, which includes the politics of the environment. So we include politics as well. We don't go full tilt on politics, just a little bit. But today we're more about talking about the world population. It's set to hit 7. That's amazing. That's a huge increase in population. That's an increase of 83 million people since January 1, 2019. It is just skyrocketing. What are we thinking? Don't you notice all the baby strollers? Five, 6 in a row, maybe 15 in a row. People are pumping out babies as if it was a full-on slaughter waterfall. By the way, that population increase rate is 156 per minute. 156 humans per minute. Remember, just not too long ago, we were talking about the rate, how it went from 1 every second to 5 every second. But look at this, 156 per minute. Unfortunately, no matter what we do, the world population at do nothing will continue and will be at 9.7 billion by 2050. Where will the biggest population centers be? China? Nope. India. In fact, they will be the most populated country by 2027. Now there's a thing that we don't need governments for. We just tell our friends to go adopt instead of birthing children. The planet is going to be a hellhole for them. So, like I was saying before, we sometimes talk about politics like we're going to do now. Here in the U.S., the Orange administration is going to roll back chemical disaster prevention. Unbelievable. Chemical disaster prevention. We're going to roll that safety back. People, this will endanger millions of lives all over the U.S. Over 100 million people live in the worst case scenario zones for chemical disasters. In other words, people are populating all around these chemical plants, especially in Texas, Louisiana, and up the Mississippi River where all these chemical plants are. You people are in grave danger now because they're going to roll back the protections on chemical disaster. So quite a few people are just amazed at this rollback. So they're all going to start taking the Orange administration to court, like Earth Justice is going to be the first ones. And others to follow. But what a waste of court time, all these lawsuits against this Orange administration for their recklessness. We've impeached him, Senate. Now let's remove it fast. It's causing harm to our planet faster than any other president or presidents combined. So we've talked today about what humans can do. We can stop populating our species so quickly? We don't need to have all these babies. We have babies coming out the yin-yang. We can go and adopt the babies from all over the world if you'd like. But one thing we've talked about here on Pink Barrio is one thing that you could do that would be a huge decrease in your footprint, and that is meat eating. For example, why you shouldn't be eating meat in the first place, because your digestive system isn't short enough to get rid of it before you end up getting rotted meat inside of you and causing trouble. But there's a new outbreak of African swine fever, not flu, but fever. This is a new one in pigs. This fever will kill pigs in a few days. This disease has spread from Mongolia through China, India, and Cambodia, all the way down into Indonesia. This means that this will spread worldwide without even trying. Should not be eating any pork, especially if it's imported. You would think by now USans would know to stay away from imported food. I would like to keep going, but we're going to go down this way a little bit and do our last subject. Kind of a nice long walk today. Very few people out. They're expecting rain. But I'm looking around and I'm seeing spots of sunshine and clearing skies. Australia heat records were broken again today at 45.3 C or 113.54 F in the southern half of the country. That's amazing. That's pretty close to the southern pole. So you get all that cooling and it's still overheating the continent. I really feel sorry for Australia, because Australia will probably be the first or second country that has to abandon the inner part of the country and just populate the outer coastlines. We know that the Middle East, many countries, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran maybe, that they're all going to have to abandon their countries altogether. All these people are going to be on the move. We'll have to see just how hot it gets over there. Also, parts of Africa are seeing huge heat waves, and will have to depopulate the center of the country, especially in the northern part of Africa. Does voting count as footprint? So your daily environmental footprint, does voting count? Of course it counts. It counts probably about 50%, because if we put in people like the Orange Man, who flaunt the environment as if it's just something in the way, needs to be pushed aside. Every little bitty animal to the biggest elephants are all there for humans to exploitate, kill, and have enjoyment with. Unbelievable. We need the far progressives. If you're voting anything but far progressives or moderate to far left, your footprint's big. I mean big. It's really, really big. If you vote for this Orange Man, your footprint is huge. You couldn't do anything that would remove the footprint the size it is. Voting for the Orange Man is the most deadly thing our planet is facing for the last 65 million years. It hasn't been this bad since, and probably will even get worse if we do nothing to change things. So, on this holiday time of the year, we need to think, is it time to change our footprint? Stop voting for right-wingers and start voting for progressives. Bernie Sanders here in the U.S. is the only one that's going to do anything real. And even then, he's going to have a hell of a time trying to do it. But it would sure be better than a constant deregulation and killing off of the planet. Remember, the Tongass National Forest, over 55% will be cut down if the Orange Man gets into office. And that will probably seal our fate in itself from all the lost oxygen and all the increase in CO2 and methane that will go up in the air because of all this. Huge amounts of carbon is taken to do all that. And then once the wood rots away, you release the rest of the carbon, the CO2, the methane. So, I'm going to head up this way and head home. Beautiful day, but I've got to get the video done. I've got to do all kinds of things. How about you? Comments in the comments section, huh? I really do enjoy your comments. Always read them. And until next time. You know, once in a while I get somebody on my channel telling me I'm a little bit quirky. You know, I couldn't figure out what they were talking about, but I sure bet they know. Huh.